Hello everyone. Clayton Miller here with Makeover Homes. Today we're going to be covering the Makeover Mortgage Process. How does it work? Who's it for? And what are all the pieces that you need to get the job done? So the first question to ask is, what is the Makeover Mortgage Process? Our process allows clients to either purchase a new home or get a refinance on an existing home and add a renovation and all of its costs into that mortgage. This is great for someone searching for a new home that needs a little bit of love or maybe a lot of love, or it's somebody who already owns their home and maybe they just want to add a garage, or maybe they'd like to add a full bath where there's a half bath. This process can be done using a number of different models. It can be done by FHA, it can be done conventionally, it can be done with a VA program. There's a number of different programs that will allow you to get it done. But you really need to pay attention to 5 different players. There's 5 different pieces of this puzzle that we're bringing to you to make it as easy as possible. The first one is a preferred lender. These lenders know what they're doing. They know the makeover mortgage process. They like doing it, and they know how to get your job done. These are going to be the guys that get you financed and get you the money to do your project. If you're doing a new home purchase, you're also going to need a preferred realtor. The preferred realtors know how to shop using the makeover mortgage process. Not just anybody, not just any realtor off the street knows how to do it. So you have to work with somebody who knows the process, knows how to make the numbers work to get your project done. You're also going to need a HUD consultant. The HUD consultant is something you probably haven't heard of before, and we'll cover that down the road. You're also going to need a home inspector, again, if you're purchasing a new home. These home inspectors are able to give you some FHA minimums if we need that, and a couple other additional tests that could need to be done depending on the model we're using. And the last piece is a preferred contractor. This is arguably one of the most important pieces. The majority of contractors aren't interested in doing renovation loan projects. They like projects that are paid cash, nice and fast. So having a preferred contractor who knows the model, knows what they're getting into, and enjoys doing it is definitely who you're going to be looking for. All right, so why does the makeover mortgage process help our clients? Well, they tell you when you're shopping for a new house, put 20% down. Everybody's heard it. Put 20% down if you can. You avoid PMI, you avoid a number of other penalties that you run into. But unfortunately, that's just not the case for everyone. Sometimes people want to put 3.5 down. Sometimes people want to put 10 down. But what I found was the average homeowner in America put 6% down on their house. So what does that tell me? If the average American's only putting 6% down, and we're always told to do 20, that means they probably just didn't have it. Not everybody has 20% down to put on a house. That's a lot of liquid cash to save up to make one of the biggest purchases that you're going to make in your lifetime. So with only 6% down, that means your savings is probably pretty darn close to depleted when you purchase that new home. So let's run over a couple scenarios. Here's kind of how it works. When you purchase a home not using the makeover mortgage process, it goes something like this. You're out shopping, you find a house, it has everything you want in it. The only problem is that roof that's supposed to go to 30 years is at 27 years. And that HVAC system that's supposed to last for like 15 is already at 15. So what do you do now? Well, you don't really have any options. You're just going to have to roll the dice, and hopefully they last a lot longer so that by the time they're really needed to be replaced, you've saved up that cash for it. So let's run over that scenario real quick. 6% down payment on a $200,000 house is $12,000. So you spent $12,000 down to purchase your new home. Well, just so happens that within the first week you're there, that roof starts leaking. Through no fault of its own, there wasn't any kind of damage, so we can't claim insurance, just started leaking. So now what? Well, we have to pay $15,000 for that new roof. That is no fun for anybody. And then luck happens to strike again, and the next week, the HVAC system craps out. So our worst fears are coming to bite us, so to speak. That's another $10,000 out of pocket. So you purchased this house for $12,000. You already had to replace the roof that you really should have done before you purchased the home. And you had to replace the HVAC system that you also knew was old and out of date and should have gotten taken care of. So within the first month of you being in your new home, you're out of pocket $37,000, which you may or may not have because you just spent most of what you had on your down payment. So let's run over the makeover mortgage process and show you how this scenario works. So we're going to purchase the same home at $200,000. But again, we notice that roof, it's outdated. It's about at the end of its life, and that HVAC system needs to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get bids for those. $15,000 for a new roof, $10,000 for a new HVAC system. So what that does is it brings our total purchase and renovation cost up to $225,000. So now what do? Now when we purchase our home, we're only paying 6% on that total cost, which is $13,500. So these scenarios are very different. In one case, you paid $12,000 out of pocket, and then another $25,000 to fix that roof and HVAC system that you maybe didn't have. And with the makeover mortgage process, you rolled in that roof, you rolled in that new HVAC system, and you had those both knocked out and taken care of before you even moved in. Now you're not working through a couple days without heating and cooling. You're also not living through a new roof going on and all the banging and dirt and mess that it makes. And to make things better, you came out a total of $13,500 out of pocket. So this guy purchased a house that needed work and it cost him $12,000. This guy purchased a house and got the work done and it cost him $13,500. Which one of those scenarios do you think sounds better? So who can use the makeover mortgage process? Well, it's not for everybody, but pretty much. So our number one client is going to be a single person, a couple, or a family who is searching for a first house, second house, third house, whichever one works. These guys have been searching for a while and they just can't quite find what they want. They found a home that's in a great location maybe, but it's missing something. They found a home that's perfect, but it's in a bad location. So what they do is they pick that house that's where they want it to be, and they turn it into what they want it to be. So they found the house. It needed a 2-car garage. It also needed a new roof, and the kitchen needed some major updating. So that's what they did. It can be anybody searching for a new home that needs something as little as upgraded appliances or something as big as a full reno. I mean, we've taken them down to the studs and started over. So it really just depends on how far your imagination can take you. The second customer that we run into quite often is a first-time investor. These are folks that are going to be purchasing a 2-unit, 3-unit, or 4-unit property, moving into one. You have to be owner-occupied. So you're going to move into one of the units, and you're going to rent out the other 1, 2, or 3. This is a great product for first-time investors because they typically don't have a lot of cash, and they also typically don't have all of the networking, all of the good deals, and the contractors, and the subs, and all of the above to get them started. So this is a great way for someone to purchase a house, put as little down as possible, also have a place to stay, build their network, and then end up with a positive cash flowing property. You know, that's the goal for all those investors out there. The next one is a homeowner who really likes their house. They don't want to move. They like where it's at. It's on a great piece of property, or it's close to their schools, or whatever it is that suits them, but they're just missing something. They need a master suite. They need a 3-car garage. It needs a new roof and a new HVAC system, kind of like the example we talked about before. They want to stay in their current home, but they know it needs some work. These are a great client, a renovation refinance. They're a great client because they already own the home, and there's a lot less pieces to jump through, a lot less hoops to go through to get that project done. The next one is a homeowner who wants to sell their home, but they don't want to deal with any of the repairs. So how often, especially for realtors out there, we meet clients all the time who they've got a house that needs some love, but they don't want to deal with contractors, subcontractors. They don't want to take care of any problems. They just want to make them go away. Well, these folks can actually list their home with a makeover mortgage process attached to it and say, hey, I know that my water heater's old. I know that the floor in this room needs to be replaced, and I know that that bathroom's pretty rough and needs to be gutted and pretty much started over. So when you purchase my home, use the makeover mortgage process, and then the client can take care of all those issues for them. So it's really great for sellers who just don't want to do anything, don't want to take the effort, don't want to clean the house, any of the above, to make it more sellable. They just let the client or the buyer come in, use the Makeover Mortgage Process to take care of all of those renovations for you. So these are the 4 kind of clients that we run into the most. This doesn't cover everybody, but this is what we run into the most often and we've had the most success with. So if you fit any of these pieces, this would be a great process for you.